What if loving unconditionally didn't mean what you think it means? Today on the podcast, we're going to dive into it. Welcome to the Love in Progress podcast, where we deep dive into self-reflection and healing as a catalyst for better relationships and leadership. I am your host and educator, Neena, and I'm here to be a guide to you in that process. Let's get started. Now, if you're like me, I have heard unconditional love all the time, whether it's parents having an unconditional love of their children or the unconditional love you share with your spouse or partner. I think we're thrown that term all the time, but I really want to challenge it here with us today because I think it means what we don't think it means. And I really, again, want to revisit the context of perhaps how you've heard of it and a new idea that may give you a new perspective on the depth of unconditional love and how that can be applied not just to our partners, not to our children or in relationships, but really to our entire existence, our entire earthly experience. So unconditional love previously had been defined, again, in relationships as you can do whatever you're going to do and I'm going to still love you. And while I think that covers some of what unconditional love is, I want to talk to you about the way that I think about it. And I think will also help you if you think about it this way too. So if we break it down, unconditional, non-conditional, conditions diversely understood and experienced aside, we still love through it. This is how I want to reframe it for you. If you are looking at your relationships, your employment, your leadership opportunities, your hobbies, your self-love and compassion, unconditionally, what would that look like? To me, it means that we are looking at our experiences as not an excuse to not love every part about that relationship experience or situation. For example, let's just say I love Maseratis and I don't have a Maserati in my garage, so I'm unhappy at my car situation and probably my financial situation because I don't have a Maserati in the garage. That is a conditional experience around my finances, around my relationship with cars, my relationship perhaps even with abundance. It is very conditional based on what I have created, based on what I have seen, what I actually have conditions-wise in my life. Powerful difference to say I have an unconditional love for Maseratis, whether or not it's in my garage or not. So how can we apply this then to relationships? It's very important for us to distinguish unconditional from conditional. And I think we can clearly identify it if we just closely look at those relationships, right? So let's just say I'm in a relationship with my children. When they act in ways that I expect, even ways that I communicate, I expect, AKA let's talk about cleaning the house, the easy one. I can be excited and joyful when they do those kinds of things, but it doesn't mean that I love them any less if they don't do it. Makes sense in a parental situation, right? But how many times do we get frustrated so much that it's very difficult for us to freely offer our love when someone doesn't meet our expectations around that relationship or around a communicated expectation like cleaning the house, doing the dishes, things that get us aggravated every single day? So when experiences like that come up with my children, come up with a partner, come up with myself, I like to look around and say, am I pinching off my ability to love this person, to love myself because of a condition, because of a situation, because of an independent from me choice that this person is choosing? And how can I open the floodgates and allow that unconditional love to flow? Because here's the truth. I want the people in my life, including myself, to not feel like they have to jump through certain hoops to qualify for my love. Worse yet, I want to not make them feel like they are unworthy to earn my love. Perhaps me sharing this with you today isn't eye-opening. You're like, yeah, duh, Neena. But perhaps there's a part of you that realizes in this moment that there are quite a few conditions that you subconsciously, unconsciously, maybe through programming or conditioning, are placing on the people around you. That is a condition that's prohibiting them from receiving the extent and depth and expansiveness of your love. And I would argue that there's likely a big part of you that's withholding love for the experiences around you because of the conditions that you're currently in. I know it sounds woo-woo, and it's odd to talk about law of attraction in that way, but I really do believe that where our focus goes, our energy flows. And when we are looking around at our life, whether we see an abundance like Maseratis in the garage, or a big, beautiful house, or even an abundance of time, and we're not seeing what we want around us, we tend to offer excuses to not love that life. When truly we can look around unconditionally, despite the conditions in our environment, and say, damn it, this is a good life. Every day I have breath in my lungs and love to give and a heart open to giving it. That's a good day. That's a life worth loving. And I hope that you can feel my heart through this podcast today, because I'm speaking from experience. I went through some tough stuff in my life and had plenty of reasons to be jaded, to look around at my life and say, why me? These people haven't earned my love. But you know what that just took away from me? It took away from me this uninhibited love, this truly unconditional love. And I can genuinely say, despite the people that have hurt me, that I still offer my unconditional love and light towards them, because I don't want to live conditionally when it comes to love. It's too much brain power. It's too much stress. It's too much gatekeeping. And what I have found is that when I showcase that unconditional love for people, for the situations in my life, that what comes back is love. That law of attraction works in that way. When I transmit out beautiful, expansive, unconditional love, that's what comes back. And I've been super surprised at how much unconditional love repels anger and ill will. They just can't resonate with it. It just doesn't attract it, because like attracts like. That's what I believe the law of attraction is all about. Tuning your radio to a station that's transmitting love, and so you receive love back. A powerful difference. So maybe this wasn't earth-shattering for you, but I hope there's some component of what I'm sharing here about unconditional love that opens your eyes to an element where you may be pinching off your love conditionally. And how is that showing back up in your life? How is your lack of vulnerability and open-heartedness attracting people that are in a similar vibration? How is the conditional acceptance and love around abundance keeping you to attract scarcity? I think it's a key basis to everything else in your life. So let us not use the things around us as a reason to not give our biggest, beautifulest, most gorgeous, big heart out to the world. Let's not let us use the thing around us or the lack of things around us to not love our life. because I believe that we are dominantly love. And when we find opportunities to unconditionally share it, then that's exactly what we get back. Unconditional acceptance and love from others and from a beautiful, abundant universe that's ready to share that love back with us. So I hope that this message was valuable for you today. I want you to find something, specifically a relationship, an experience, a belief structure where you're pinching off your love and making people earn it. And I want you to just offer it freely and see what comes back to you. Let me know how it goes for you. I definitely want the feedback. Don't forget to live well, look well, and be well. I'm rooting for you, my friend. See you next time.